All right, let's talk about artificial intelligence. You hear that term, that buzzword, pretty much everywhere. It's shaping our news, our jobs, everything. But what is it really? We're going to cut through all the noise and break down exactly what it is, how it works, and, why you should even care.
So when I say AI, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, our brains immediately jump to the movies, right? We're thinking sentient robots, flying cars, maybe even a little bit of doom and gloom. But the reality of AI, the stuff that's already here, is actually a lot simpler and, honestly, way more interesting.
Okay, so here's the absolute key difference. Think about the software you use every day. It follows strict, hard-coded rules. If you click this button, then that specific thing happens. Every single time. It's a simple if X, then Y command. But AI, well, AI is different. It doesn't just follow orders, it actually learns. It looks at mountains of data, finds patterns, and makes predictions. It's a huge shift from if X, then Y to, hey, based on all this information, here's what Y is most likely going to be.
But here's the thing, not all AI is the same, not even close. It's much better to think of it as a whole spectrum, ranging from the AI we're all using today to what might be possible way, way down the road.
Really, you can think about it in three big buckets. We've got what's here today, right now, which is called artificial narrow intelligence, or ANI. Then there's the theoretical future, artificial general intelligence, AGI. And finally, the really far-out concept of artificial superintelligence, or ASI. So let's start with the here and now. Artificial narrow intelligence, ANI. Sometimes people call it weak AI. And that's not because it isn't powerful, it's incredibly powerful, but because that power is laser-focused on one single thing. Think about it. Google search is an absolute genius at finding information, but you can't ask it to bake a cake. Netflix knows exactly what show you want to watch next, but it can't drive your car. Each one is a master of its own tiny universe.
The next big step up is artificial general intelligence, or AGI. Now, this is the stuff you see in sci-fi, a machine that could reason, create, and solve problems just like a human can. Achieving that kind of flexible, common-sense thinking is basically the holy grail for researchers. But I have to stress this, AGI is still completely theoretical. We are not there yet.
So how does any of this actually happen? How does a machine learn? It can feel like total magic, right? But believe it or not, behind the curtain, it all just comes down to two things, math and a ton of data, a whole lot of data.
The secret sauce here is a process called machine learning. See, instead of a human programmer trying to write code for every single possible scenario, which would be impossible, they just give the machine access to a huge data set and let it figure out the patterns on its own. You're not just programming a result, you're programming a system that knows how to learn. Okay, let's make this super simple. Imagine you want to teach an AI what a cat looks like. First, you just drown it in data. You feed it thousands, maybe millions of pictures of cats. The AI then sifts through every single image, looking for common patterns. Whiskers, pointy ears, tails, that sort of thing. From all those patterns, it builds its own internal idea, its own model of what cat means. And the result? Now you can show it a brand new photo it's never seen before, and it can say, yep, that's a cat.
And the crazy part is how this learning happens. It's done inside something called neural networks. These are basically incredibly complex digital webs of algorithms that are designed to mimic the way our own human brains are wired. It's pretty wild.
All right, we've talked theory, we've talked tech, but let's get to the important part. What about your life? Where is AI actually showing up? Well, the truth is, it's already everywhere. Seriously, just for a second, think about your day so far. Can you think of any moments where you might have bumped into an AI system, maybe without even giving it a second thought?
I'm willing to bet the answer is yes. When you ask Siri or Alexa for the weather, that's AI understanding your voice. That fraud alert text you got from your bank, that was an AI noticing a weird pattern in your spending. And of course, every time Netflix recommends a new show, or you use a tool like ChatGPT to help you write something, yep, that's all powered by AI.
Okay, but with a technology this big, this powerful, you're going to have some big questions, right? Some concerns. So let's just dive right into them and tackle a couple of the most common ones.
And this is the big one, isn't it? The question on everyone's mind. With AI getting smarter and smarter, what's that going to mean for our careers?
The way experts are looking at it isn't really about replacement. It's about teamwork, about augmentation. AI is absolutely fantastic at repetitive, data-heavy, routine tasks, the stuff we humans find kind of boring. But it can't do what we do. It can't replicate things like real creativity, empathy, or critical thinking. So the future is probably one where AI handles all the grunt work, which frees us up to focus on the problems that really, truly need a human mind.
All right, what about the other big worry? You see it in the movies all the time. Is this stuff dangerous?
And look, let's be real. Like any powerful tool, from a hammer to the internet, of course there are risks. There are really valid concerns about stuff like data privacy or making sure these systems don't have hidden biases. But these aren't guaranteed outcomes. They're challenges. They're problems that we have to solve with responsible design, with strong ethical guidelines, and with really thoughtful development.
At the end of the day, you have to remember this. AI is not just another app on your phone. It's not just another gadget. This is a fundamental shift in how technology works with people and how we work with information itself.
So here's where we land. The real question we should be asking ourselves isn't if AI is part of our future, because it is. The real question is, how are we going to build it? How do we make sure it's ethical, that it's fair? How do we use it to solve our biggest problems? That's the challenge and the amazing opportunity that's right in front of all of us.